has a greater financial ability than an individual to bring these claims. Hence why you see more of them against unit owners.
That's a very interesting point, that nuisance cuts both ways. Well, we have a few more to go, and we're running out of time.
How about questions?
We're going to have questions in about 5 minutes, okay? We're just running a few more. Okay. We can sit outside. Some of my neighbors have told me that a certain board member has been trashing me on Facebook. Can she get away with that? What are my options?
I mean, to me, this goes through the same analysis that we discussed earlier. Number one, is it a truthful statement versus an untruthful statement? If the trashing is true, or supported by true facts, then it doesn't reach the cause of action. If it's a false statement and it's published, and you heard Art the professor say that a Facebook statement could be a publication to a third party and cause some kind of damages, then I think it could be actionable.
Yeah, again, it's got to be a statement of fact, not an opinion, and it's got to be false. But if it's, so-and-so is a real hand in meetings, well, I mean, that's probably an opinion, and it may well be true as well, and that's probably not going to be it. But if it's, so-and-so is, engaging in all this reprehensible behavior, they're dealing drugs out of their unit. Okay, that now is, unless you're dealing drugs out of your unit, that's going to be an actionable kind of statement. So it all depends on what's the trashing, what's going on, how is it worded, what are we looking at there?
The bad words, I'm talking about the C word, the B word.
Few more. If I start a blog about my association, is that protected speech? Can I use the name of the association in the blog?
No, it's not. I mean, it's not protected, but can you use the name of the association? Yes. Again, back to what I was saying, you can't pretend to be the association, but if you're saying, hey, this is a blog about my association, well, you're allowed to say that, right? That's you're just conveying a fact there. You're conveying truth. It's what's called descriptive. And keep in mind, there's things, when you get into the intellectual property aspects of it, parody, critique, those are generally areas that are going to be protected. Yet, don't go overboard, but you don't get to use, brand rights, name rights, etc., to try to shut down somebody who goes, yeah, I think they took this action to spend this money. I think it was a bad idea to spend the money on X because we don't need it, or it's a waste of money, or whatever it is, that you're allowed to do that.
Question for the audience. Do any of your associations have a social media policy? Anybody?
Social media. We don't have any right now.
Have you consulted with any of your association clients? And what do you think about having a social media policy?
I don't think any of my associations have social media policies. The only things that I've seen that even touch into that realm is what you can do with the videos that you're shooting. But I think, I don't know, he would know better than I do, but I feel that people's individual social media is theirs. I don't see how you
What about the board?
there are people, the board are the same as the other members.
Are they should board members use social media to make comments about the association?
I think it's fine as long as they're not transacting board business through social media. To me, it would be no different than an email. In an association, you can't have a quorum present discussing board business at any time. If the social media is being used to somehow get around that, I think it's wrong. But I think that every member of the association, no matter what your position, has the right to express your opinion as long as it's not defamatory.
Can I go on social media and say the C word and the B word? I'm asking, this is what's happening in my office.
Are they using association resources?
Yep. Yes, they are.
Okay.
I'll talk to you after, Norma. I'll talk to you.
Okay, videotaping, which was really the whole catalyst for this workshop. Is there any case law, and what's your perspective? Is there any case law on the rights on videotaping? And Dan, what's your position? You think that if a court were to decide, they would go on the side of freedom to publish, or is the association right to restrict the publication of board meetings on social media on YouTube? What do you think about that?
Okay. First of all, it's going to depend on what's in your condo declaration again, right? Because maybe there's a policy in there that says, hey, you're not allowed to do that. If that's the case, that's the rule because that's what you signed up for, right? That's how it is because you live in that building. Look, people have a right to their likeness in the media. You've all seen this on TV shows, reality TV shows, when somebody's walking down the street and the person's blurred out in the background, or there's tape over the access, there's no sponsorship. Right? You can't just go and take video of people and blast it out there for a number of purposes. And so I do think that if the board were to say, look, this is a private issue and we don't consent. If we're public or private figures, we don't consent to you taking video of us and posting it on the internet. I think that the court could very well find, maybe not even under the condo statutes, but just under the right of, the right to control your personality, your personal image, which everybody has. The court could very well find that that was an inappropriate publication. Like I said, you all have real experience with this. You've seen it on TV. Every one of you, I guarantee, has seen it on TV. Where there's something going on, and somebody in the background is blurred out. It's because they didn't give their permission to be taped and put out there on TV. If people don't read like on concerts or tickets for concerts or sporting events or whatever, there's almost always a public media provision on there where you say, I consent to being filmed, right? You've seen those signs up in buildings where it says, you are on videotape. We may use this for blah, 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 right? Okay, well, don't go in that area. But you all have experience with this, just not in the condo thing, in the condo setting. But again, I can see a court saying, yeah, you're not allowed to publish that if you didn't get permission.
So if the board member is a private person, that would cut that argument, right? If that's a private figure, they have some expectation of privacy, correct? So that would hinge on whether they're a limited purpose public figure or a private person, whether or not that videotape could be actually distributed or uploaded onto YouTube, right?
Correct. And again, that spans that spans that realm. So what would have been a couple of years ago, right after the presidential election, I was on a flight back from New York, and Donna Shalala was sitting next to me. She's a public figure, right? Between having in politics, president of the University of Miami, having in politics, etc. I can take a picture of that. I'm on the flight with Donna Shalala. I can't really run around. This is very interesting. My wife happened to be on the first 737 MAX flight in the United States, and all the airline bloggers were there, and they were taking pictures of the plane. And I wake up to all these messages like, "Your wife's all over the internet." I'm like, what the heck's going on here? And it's because they were taking pictures and they hadn't blurred them out. And they were like, oh my goodness, my wife's like, oh my God, look at this, I'm on here. And I was like, oh cool. And I wrote one of the guys was like, hey, it's very, I wrote from my work email account. It's like, hey, super cool. Like, I just want to say, I love following you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm very sorry that I didn't blur your wife out. I didn't ask. I'm like, no, it's cool, don't worry about it. And other people had actually asked her, because she's a private individual, and they were taking a picture just down the aisle of the plane. But they needed her permission and the permission of everybody else because they tried to blur people out. One of them hadn't. It wasn't. I didn't really care. She didn't really care. She thought it was kind of cool. But you need permission for that. So if it's a private person, private figure, yeah, you need permission.
I'll give you my 2 cents because I think we're about to go into questions. I think you need to look into the legislative intent, why you're allowed to videotape a meeting in the first place. I believe what was going on at that time was people were saying perhaps that the association records didn't reflect an accurate picture of what was happening at the meeting and their minutes. So the legislature heard that argument and created the opportunity for people to videotape them so people have a record of what transpired as to when there's something that needs to move forward, whether it's an arbitration, a court case, etc. I don't think that the legislature ever intended for people to then take that video and post it on YouTube and kind of blast out private condominium meetings to the world with the intent of perhaps embarrassing or shaming or hurting somebody on the board or somebody else at the meeting. And I happen to agree that when the court ultimately determines this, that they're likely to find that condominium board members are not public figures, they're private people just serving on a board.
Except in a rare instance.
Okay, it's 8 o'clock, so it's a hard stop. Just a couple of the announcements. Because of all of the great discussion and very valuable input that we've received, if the next condo workshop, if the subject will be about retaliation, about some of the inequities of condominium life, if we can frame that into a workshop, we'd be happy to have our next topic, some of the things that you've raised over here, and so forth. One second, because we do have to get out of here. If you are interested in additional or upcoming workshops or topics, please convey that or sign in, provide your email so that we can contact you directly. Hope you've enjoyed this little workshop. If you're interested in future workshops, we'll be announcing that. And thanks everyone. I see we're basically going to have to get out of here. So if you have questions, you can come to us separately. Thanks so much for coming.